Welcome back to Mac and Mike. I'm Mike. This guy over here on my side is Mac. And our friend and special guest today is Joe Episcopo. And the subject today was artificial intelligence and some of the, it's something we've talked about before, but it keeps changing so fast that you could probably make a podcast about it every week. And so one of the videos that Joe sent had to do with the technology to record things like a body cam all the time, and even use surveillance and even drone technology to track vehicles and even catch forest fires and see if there's somebody setting it.
I went in a little bit more. They were going to use our cameras in our cars as well to look in on you.
I didn't see them say they were going to use our cameras in our cars. Here, I'll make an adjustment here. I think everything's okay. But it's a right to privacy issue. And I guess with the advanced technology that we have today, you can delve much deeper into things than you used to be able to. And even if you turn, the guy said in the video, which I'll try and at least reference in a link, it's a 5-minute video, that even if you tell it you want it to turn off, like for a private bathroom break or something of that nature, it still continues to record, but it takes a court order in order to have anything that you tell it you want to be private. And of course, we've seen what happened with the misuse of the FISA courts. Yeah. So I think you're 100% right that it doesn't matter what they say, there will be an abuse of these systems. And so we're coming into that science fiction brave new world where they had predictive crime units and things like that. And I don't know, I'll let you two guys carry it away, but like Max said earlier, the genie is kind of out of the box.
Go ahead, man. Yeah. You look like you want to say something.
Well, my only point when we were talking earlier, Joe, is that if it were a choice between, yes, allowing this kind of AI behavior or no, not allowing this kind of AI behavior, if we were in control, I would agree with you. You know, privacy is a high priority on my value scale. But all over the world, other nations, other companies, even within our own country, we have multiple people working on AI technology at breakneck speed. We're already past the point, I can remember 6, 8, 10 months ago, a year ago, Elon Musk saying, we have to slow down. We've got to slow down. We have to let this, we've got to take a step back, and we've got to determine how we're going to use AI. We're going to have to set some rules around AI. But nobody slowed down. Nobody stopped. Microsoft has a new chip out, new capabilities. Ellison has his AI. China and Russia and Japan have their own AI. Elon Musk, with Grok 3 has his own AI. So these are all competing. And, when we talk about privacy, and we talked about this, Mike, in a different podcast, in a different vein, Americans want to claim the right to privacy. And I get that. I don't even like cameras on stoplights and traffic signals, because I think those are, if you want to catch somebody going through a red light, post the policeman there. That's the way it's supposed to work. But using a camera to take a picture of a license plate and then sending them a ticket without anyone ever, without any accusation or a presumption of innocence, to me, that reeks of not in keeping with the constitutional protections that we have.
Well, I'd like to mention a little something on that.
The Bill of Rights only protects us from government abuse. Constitutional Bill of Rights does not protect us from corporation abuse. And therein lies the problem. Maybe what we need is a Bill of Rights against corporations, against the against the people who collect bills, against the people who have our health information, against people
Credit
who,
score.
whatever, fill in the blanks. So, all the apps that we use on our phone and our computer, when we click I accept the terms and conditions, guess what? We've given them permission to use our private information. So we have to get better at those kind of things. And maybe there does need to be a new law.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that, Mac. I want to point out on those traffic light cameras, they cause accidents. I was involved in one with my motorcycle.
Wow.
This lady was at the stoplight. It was green. And she comes up and actually stops in the middle of the road because it turned yellow.
Wow.
As I'm following her, I was going to go through because I'm on a motorcycle.
Right.
And she stops, and I had nothing to do but lay my bike down.
Wow.
Yeah, she should have known yellow means go faster, right?
Thank God
joke. Green means go, red means stop, yellow means go like hell to beat the red.
Yeah.
But she's in the middle of the road.
Yeah, well, that might happen with or without, cameras.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of leads me to believe that she stopped because she was scared to go through it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying my point is that she finally heard my squealing of my tires and actually went through the stoplight because I landed where her car was.
A little bit too late for you.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's my main point I want to make is that we can somehow demand a little say-so in all this. As citizens.
How are we going to do that, Joe?
Well, that's where I was telling you guys earlier. Is I think it should be like the court systems and the people being paid to serve on those boards to oversee this technology.
Well, here's the problem with that. First, we have no control over the nation of China. We have no control over the nation of Russia. We have no control over the nation of Japan or any of these nations.
Yeah, but their systems are not going to be allowed here.
Oh, Joe.
DeepSeek already is.
Don't be naive. Don't be naive.
You're telling me that Russia and China has capabilities of looking into our cameras in our country?
Yeah, China for sure with DeepSeek, they're already here.
But
TikTok, they're already here.
But it's not even DeepSeek and TikTok. Do you remember in the first Trump administration where they stopped all the implementation of Chinese telecom equipment in our nationwide
5G
network?
Yeah.
And they did that specifically because there was either software or hardware within this Chinese equipment that was surveilling us.
Yeah.
And what happened when Trump was out of office?
Yeah, they let it come back.
We kept putting in all that China. So look, don't be naive. There are people spying us all the time. What about the Chinese spy balloon that flew the whole way across the United States?
Yeah, and they shot it down, didn't they? And they actually asked some info on it.
After it collected all the data. And that's when Brent and I actually met you down at Myrtle Beach. That's the day all the Navy ships were coming in and they were shooting the balloon down. So, and you guys thought it was a UFO, but it was actually surveillance aircraft looking for the wreckage over the ocean.
I never thought it was UFO, but okay.
Yeah, you both swore. You're both maybe not in your right mind exactly, both swearing it was a UFO. And of course, me with 23 years experience in the Air Force, I said, no, that's either a slow-moving A-10 or surveillance type aircraft or a helicopter.
But in addition to foreign nations, there's also independent companies. What are these companies that are developing AI at breakneck speed so that they can be the first to market with their new AI tool? How can the government stop a private, independent business from doing research that they think is in the best interest of their company? we live in a nation that has certain freedoms guaranteed to both individuals and corporations. So tell me exactly how our government puts a set of rules up around AI and said, you, Mr. Larry Ellison, or you, Mr. XYZ Corporation, you can't do this.
Yeah, and the scary thing is, Joe, like you mentioned, well, I mentioned the FISA courts, and you mentioned like a board, a jury of some sort before you can gain access to this kind of stuff. And then I remembered that.
Well, not just gain access, but actual, I should say, oversight on the usage of it.
Well, that would be sort of like I mentioned in the Medicare, Medicaid, insurance, and financial businesses. We have regulations that you can't say certain things. So yeah, you could regulate it here in America to a certain degree, but again, there'll be violations. Like, you think for 1 minute the NSA hasn't been watching everything we do and say? They're watching this video right now through the camera on my computer. I guarantee they're collecting the data. And
well, that's only because you're a suspected terrorist, Mike.
No, it's only because I used to work with them. But the fact of the matter is, they've been talking about replacing judges and even juries with artificial intelligence itself, because it doesn't have biases if it's not programmed in. It doesn't get hungry. It's not thirsty. It's not tired. It didn't just have a fight with its wife the night before. So you can almost create an artificial intelligence, because, by the way, Grok 3 is now considered agentic, which means it has agency. And now that just happened a couple days ago. So, I told Mac as soon as I clicked it on, since I'm paying for it, I noticed the difference right away. I'm not sure I could quite put my finger on it, but it seemed like a real interaction. Like I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah.
It's the same damn thing. So it's coming to the point where we're not going to have to worry about it, because it's going to be AGI. We're going to hit that singularity. And that means it's smarter than every human being on the world. And Mac just had a friend tell him yesterday, who is a lawyer, that, hey, I used to use Grok 2, and it was pretty darn good. But Grok 3 is smarter than me.
Yeah. He said, I was smarter than Grok 2. He said, Grok 3 is smarter than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like when they were playing the computer on chess. And
yes.
It could never win, hardly. And now
finally beat and then Mahjong is even more complicated than chess, and it beat the Mahjong champions.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do believe that the people can rise up and stop this.
Joe, I don't know, man. Do you remember the movie? It was probably 30 years ago, HAL 2000.
Yeah.
And the guy comes into the room and said, I'm going to have to unplug this. And the computer says, I'm sorry, Bob. I can't allow you to do that.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Dave, yeah. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? We know where the plug is.
Well, that's what Elon Musk has said. That, that if people understand it, artificial intelligence requires huge data centers and power production plants or power usage. That's right now. I mean, we're creating more and more efficient chips that may not require as much electrical usage in the future, not as much power. But for now, for the time being, if that artificial intelligence doesn't have power going to it, it's done. And all you have to do is make a sever in the power supply. Now,
it even gets scarier.
Maybe different.
Yes, it gets scarier with the nanobots and all the technology that they have to send the stuff into our body.
Well,
that's been around a while.
Some of that's good. If they can put a nanobot in my body that's going to kill all the cancer cells when they appear, I'm for that.
They caused.
But, you mentioned power. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Middletown, Pennsylvania, home of 3 Mile Island, the greatest nuclear disaster ever in the history of the United States.
Just down the road here.
Microsoft, Bill Gates, purchased that facility, He's rebuilding it, reconstituting it, re-energizing it. There's 400 full-time jobs on that island just making power
For AI.
for Microsoft's AI development.
Yep.
Now imagine it. At 3 Mile Island with their nuclear power plant, all of that power is not going to power lights and doorbells and locally. It's going all dedicated to Microsoft. Now they don't have it up and running yet, but the goal is to have it up and running soon. And all of that power generated will be used for the development and ongoing support of Microsoft AI.
Yeah, let's hope he goes to jail before all that.
Well, Kash Patel was just confirmed as the FBI.
Yes, he has.
And
Thank
he
God.
did say that the Epstein files will be released.
He did.
Bill Gates was on we saw the plane manifest, and Bill Gates was on the plane a number of times.
His wife has confirmed that.
Linda Gates said that's the reason she divorced him, right?
Yep.
Yeah, likes the young ones. Well, it doesn't matter if these guys go, Ellison and Bill Gates.
Someone else will take over.
Yes,
I understand.
it's
Yeah, but the other thing, those kind of guys are not going to go to jail. What they'll do is they'll go to France or somewhere. They'll go to some country that doesn't have an extradition agreement with the United States, and they will live lavishly wherever they go, and they'll still control their empire from wherever they're actually physically located. That's what
That is the sad part. We
does.
should have a hit squad that goes after their ass.
Well, wait a minute, Joe. You know that's illegal, right? Let's not talk about things that we illegal. We don't want somebody knocking at our door.
Well, let's stop and think. Who was the American citizen that Obama had killed?
Oh yeah, the guy.
Oh, the guy in Afghanistan that was an American citizen,
Had him droned.
yeah, or was it? It wasn't Afghanistan. It was some other country near there.
Well, they designated him a terrorist, and they didn't give him a trial, and they just decided they were going to kill him, even if he was an American citizen.
Well, look what we
I'm not
did.
saying I'm against that either. I mean, if it was absolutely proven this guy was who they said he was, which I think he was,
But
I know it's quote illegal, but
that's a slippery
it
slope.
is a slippery slope. I don't disagree, but
How about all those people?
There was a movie
how about
made
all those
like
American
that.
Citizens walked into the Capitol building on January 6th.
yeah,
Is it all right to off them too?
I can already tell you that the United States government was involved in things that they shouldn't have been in.
For decades.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for decades.
And it's like everything was the way we do it is everything is so compartmentalized.
Yeah.
That even if I said what I knew and you couldn't get 15 other guys to corroborate what I said, it'd go nowhere. It'd just be my word against somebody
That's
else's.
right, yeah. Yep.
Well, I hope we somehow overcome this, doom hanging over our heads.
Well, it's interesting where this is going in 1,000 different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, we can take it into the religious realm. We can just take it into the science fiction realm. I really do struggle with that. I mean, it's kind of interesting to be where we're all within a close, we're what? How old are you? 64? 5?
Yep.
65.
64.
We're all within like 3 years of each other.
Yeah.
3-4 years. Imagine what it's like to be our kids and grandkids. These are the things that it's going to affect more than us. I mean, things, but I shouldn't say that too quickly because look how things changed just in the last year.
Right.
I mean, it's been phenomenal.
Yes, it has. The colleges, I think Charlie Kirk had a lot to do with that. I really liked the kid. Young man, I should say. I'm sorry. I mean, he went into the campuses and had all kinds of debates with those kids.
Yeah, but I'm talking specifically about artificial intelligence. The breakthroughs we're going to have in medicine, we're already seeing them, but there's more coming because along with the new artificial intelligence, they're coming up with things they've been working on for 20 years that they're having breakthroughs.
Yes, they're calling what do they call a medical bud, and what it'll be is a frequency. I should say rejuvenator of whatever disease you have. They have certain frequencies for every disease, they say.
Well, they're already out there. It's electromagnetic pulse something, EMPF,
Yeah.
and then they combine it with low and high infrared and something else having to do with the emerald spectrum. And some of it's hocus pocus and some of it's real. Now, EMF, they've been using that in hospitals for a number of years. They use it to heal bones quicker. They use it for cancer patients so that chemotherapy can work more efficiently on the cancer.
Right.
So yes, some of that is absolutely true, but you're right. There's different frequencies that are for different diseases, and you may buy one of these things on the open market. My friend Rodney, he has one that costs $6,000. You can get one on Amazon for $1,000, and then I have a little pad that's just EMF that you can use for like knee or joint pain, and I've used it. I used it on my back the other day. It actually worked in about 3 sessions, and 30 minutes each. You don't feel anything. It's not electrostimulus. You don't feel any heat. You feel nothing. And yeah, there's no doubt it works. But
So on that realm, there's a guy in Africa, Uganda, that has developed a motorcycle, and I forgot what else. Oh, I think it's a boat. 3 things vehicles that he says is powered by magnetic energy that he grabs out of the air, and they're unlimited powered. They never run out of power. You can start your car and leave it running in your driveway forever unless it breaks down. It's an awesome development if it is all true. And his life has been attempted to be taken already. And the president of Uganda has taken him under his wing and is protecting him somewhat. But I don't know how far they can protect him from some of these higher powers.
Well, there's no doubt the profit motive is a very powerful motive. And if you are doing something that threatens large industries, it's reasonable to assume those large industries are going to try to protect their revenue stream. It doesn't mean I'm condoning anyone's life being threatened. I'm just saying that with those kind of big numbers, it's not a surprise to me that somebody would want to bury certain technology, right?
Yeah, the third one was a generator.
They kind of buried that too.
What was the Wankel?
The Wankel engine, you don't remember that? That was the new design from the internal combustion straight piston job. It was a rotary engine that
the Mazda engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that was.
I didn't remember it was called the Wankel engine.
Wankel.
Mazda used.
Wankel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember the rotary engine. Was that more efficient? I don't even remember.
I don't know, Mike. I hear all these. I hear cars that run on water, and I hear cars that run on hydrogen.
Well, it is hydrogen.
That is
water. Yeah, it's not just water itself, but they have to convert the water into hydrogen at some point, and it often takes too much onboard energy to cause those molecules to break apart. But they keep working on things, fusion, everything else. They may break the barrier someday. I mean, Toyota, Suzuki, and Honda.
AI will probably break the barrier.
Yes, and that is, and quantum computing chips. There's breakthroughs on that every day. So once
I don't disagree that there's some great things that it could do.
And I think we ought to send some of this stuff out into outer space.
Well, I think Elon's working on that.
I'm trying to see how much time we have left here.
I think we should send some of the people who are complaining about the waste, fraud, and abuse that DOGE is uncovering. I think we ought to send those people to outer space. Make them first colony on Mars.
Yeah.
That's the sad part, is that they're showing all this abuse, but I yet have to see anybody facing any kind of charges. on any of that.
Joe,
So hopefully,
they're complaining about the process that Doge is using for uncovering the stuff, but nobody is defending those things that he's uncovering. You know, personally, I think the 350-year-old person who's collecting Social Security.
well, there was a 169-year-old.
I want to meet. I want to meet that 350-year-old person collecting Social Security. You know, the nation isn't 350 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We didn't have Social Security until the Franklin Delano Roosevelt administration, which wasn't all that long ago comparatively.
Well, the thing I would like to know is it individuals that are doing this, or is it a collective fleecing of?
Yeah, it's hard to know. And, you know, I guess it's possible that somebody could have uncovered a Social Security number from some sort of record somewhere, realizing the person died before they started collecting Social Security, and then they just filed a fake Social Security claim under this Social Security number of somebody who died when they were 38, you know, and collecting benefits in Dominican Republic or somewhere. So
I don't know if you know this, but nursing homes was founded on that very thing. Was a lady that started taking in older people and taking care of them.
Yeah.
And then she actually would kill them off and keep collecting the Social Security.
Wow. Well, that's a business model, certainly, if not exactly, you know, on the up and up.
No, but she was making money.
I'll bet you.
Every month without ever having to spend any money on taking care of them.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is the whole Doge thing is driven by artificial intelligence in the first place.
Yeah.
That's what they're using to uncover all this stuff.
Yep.
It would have taken many years to do without that.
Yeah,
you can imagine 20,000 humans, and you know that was a funny story. You know, when Doge was supposed to show up at the USAID office, all the USAID employees, the staff, you know, the marketing mucks, they were preparing 8x12, you know, 8x10 colored glossies and these binders to put together to tell them all the great work that they do. And the night before the meeting, those programmers went into the USAID computer system using Treasury as their, and they just uncovered all this fraud. And then these people are over there at USAID say, "Where are these guys? We've been waiting here for an hour. We want to blow smoke up their skirt, and there's nobody here." And then they hit them with, "Yeah, because you're spending all this money in all these crazy places."
So I don't think it was a Treasury Mac. I think this was done through the Obama fixing of their computer system for Obamacare.
No, they were in the basement of the Treasury Department because here's the, you know, under the kimono. You know, when they open a kimono wide, you realize that all of these government agencies have to have connections back to Treasury, because Treasury is the organization that controls whether or not any money gets spent. You know, Treasury has to have the receipts, if you will, right? The people are, I got the receipts. Well, Treasury gets the receipts, and therefore all of these other computers are connected to Treasury so that they can track the money that's been spent. So these guys went into all these other computer systems. Through, if you remember, Bassett was one of the first people that was confirmed by.
So is Treasury not ran?
One of the first ones confirmed, and Doge team, the 6 or 8 or 12, whatever number of people, coders, went in using AI and backtracked through all those other computer systems, and that's how they're able to find it. You know, it would have taken 20,000 human beings, literally years, to find out what they found out overnight. They started like around midnight, and by 6 a.m., when the Treasury employees were starting to filter in, they said, "Hey, who are these people that are here? What are they doing?" It was crazy. The story is anecdotal, obviously, but it's hilarious.
So is Treasury ran by the IRS?
No, Treasury is part of the executive branch.
Okay,
So
all right.
it's part of. I mean, Donald Trump runs it.
All right. That's why they were I was going to say IRS wouldn't let them in.
IRS, I think, actually falls under
I was
Treasury.
going to say, I'm pretty sure IRS is not Treasury.
Yeah. Yeah, so the IRS is done. Well, they already put what? They put 7,000 IRS agents out already.
Yeah. And they're going to, give away all the bullets and guns they bought.
Yeah, well, they're going to actually take some of those guys and put them down on the border and make. You want to keep a federal job?
Yeah.
Down the border, buddy.
I heard that too. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So but without artificial intelligence,
talking about the border, did you hear when the president of Mexico says, "Please, Mr. President, don't designate our 7 or 8 drug cartels as international terrorists"?
Yeah.
I think it's gone beyond that already. They send in the drones for them.
Well, her concern, she said, was if they're international terrorists, that we could send our military into the nation of Mexico without asking permission or without getting concurrence from the government.
Yeah, we can.
And that's a real concern to the people that are running Mexico. And you got to ask yourself this question: why?
They're getting paid off by them.
I mean,
It's an obvious thing. That's why.
If we're looking at the bad guys, isn't that a good thing? Who's against eliminating the bad guys? Raise your hand.
Well, they can't say they are, but they're part of the payoff scheme. Look, so much of the Mexican economy depends on the narco-terrorist state.
Yeah.
So they're running right now, and the dilemma is Trump going to go after them if they go down into southern, countries farther than Mexico?
Yeah. What did I used to do?
Yeah.
I would say this. I would say,
are they going to go after them, Mike?
Yes.
I would say this. Our best, the best of our best, they are highly trained and highly motivated individuals. Now, when you say that our military is not what it was 50 years ago, I generally agree. We've cut a lot of corners. We've made a lot of dumb decisions. We don't have a PT test today because we have too many DEI and too many all these different kind of rules, woke and transgender. We don't make everybody adhere to the same rules. But those special forces dudes, they know what they're about and they're good at what they do. And I don't care if you have a bunch of, people with AK-47s or fully automatic weapons, our guys will take them out. And they may take them out with drones. They may take them out with technology that these people don't even know exists yet.
That's right.
But we will take them out. And again, going back to the president of Mexico, how could you be against taking out the drug cartel kingpins? The ones that are sleeping on those beds made of U.S. paper money.
Not to mention killing their own citizens.
A lot of our children too.
That's right.
See, that's where really I say take the damn gloves off. You hurt me or mine, you're dead.
Well, but see, AI can make that process.
Oh, I'm sure it does. Because the missions I used to go on are no longer flown from an airplane. None of it's done from an airplane anymore, and it hasn't been. That unit was retired the very day I left my base. And people were joking, like, you're leaving, so they're putting it out of business, which is really a crock because I was just one small cog in a very big wheel. But we had technology back then where we could see a light bulb turn on in the jungle from 10,000 feet in the air, hundreds of miles away. And we were listening to everything. And I won't even tell you what was happening when Ronald Reagan was in charge.
Yeah.
It was a gloves off situation. That's all I'll say.
But the point is that, when Joe says we have to put these controls on the development of AI, the first.
Well, I wouldn't say on the development. I say on the usage.
Well, but the first thing, Joe, is that the genie's already out of the bottle. We haven't controlled it. We haven't set a set of rules before now, and now the AI is already too powerful for any rules that we make to stick, because the AI will find a way around it. But the second part of that is that when the AI is doing something that is this, I mean, when they're doing something that is something we want to have done because it's important to our safety and security, don't we want the AI to be able to help us do that? Regardless of the fact that genie's out of the bottle, I don't think we can control it because of all of these people that are already using it. But isn't it a good thing if we're using AI to help us eliminate the drug cartels? I think it is.
Yeah, it's like nuclear power. I've said that before. You can use it to generate electricity or destroy whole continents.
Yeah.
And so that's always the dilemma with any mass technology. I mean, just think back in the days of Roman soldiers and things. They had the Roman phalanx. And all the different technologies, and even the Middle Ages. Wasn't Michelangelo, but who was the other guy?
Galileo.
No, it wasn't Galileo. Who was the guy that invented all the different weapons for the Italians?
Yeah, Michelangelo.
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci.
Vinci.
Okay, yeah.
He's the one that created all sorts of really weird weapons. I mean, he had an idea for helicopters.
Yeah.
He had an
Submarine
idea for a
too.
Submarine.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. The one thing mankind is good at doing is destroying each other.
Well, I would say this. I would say the American military has taken that ability to heights that were not previously thought to exist.
Yeah.
We are very good at going places and making people disappear.
Yeah, look at, you can take Grok and ask it, what is the average American kill ratio to its enemy? It's like 31 to 1. That's just a low average. Some people say it's 70-some to 1.
Well, we're
down to 1 minute and 54 seconds before we get cut off.
Well, I guess we better think about closing up. But I will say this. We are so highly skilled at making other people dead that we should somehow be able to bottle that and sell it. I guess we're done, right, Joe? We got our point.
Yeah, they are selling our weapons right as we speak almost. But I hope Trump puts that to sleep too.
Take a kibosh on it.
Okay. I don't mind selling them. I just don't want to give them away.
Yeah. With that,
That's a good
Mac
point.
and Mike.
Out.
Out.
Out.